Some public figures don't just grow older, they grow deeper, more resilient, and more revealing with time. And when you see where Sarah Ferguson stands today, the story behind her journey might move you more than you expect. Not because of shock, but because of strength. Welcome to the channel Fame Express, where we explore the lives behind the headlines, the turning points behind the fame, and the human stories that often go untold. Today we're looking at Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, and what her life and presence represent in 2026. Not through gossip, not through rumors, but through the lens of resilience, reinvention, and perspective. For many people, her name brings back vivid memories of royal headlines from the late 1980s and 1990s. A whirlwind romance, global attention, and then very public challenges. She entered one of the most watched families in the world and discovered, in real time, what that pressure can do to a person. But here's what often gets overlooked. Some lives are not defined by their most difficult chapters, they're defined by what happens after. Long after the royal spotlight softened, she didn't disappear. She pivoted. She became a children's author, a media personality, a charity advocate, a speaker, and through it all, she developed something that cameras rarely capture well: perspective. One of the most intriguing parts of her story is how openly she has spoken about rebuilding. Financial setbacks, public criticism, personal reinvention. She didn't pretend those moments never happened. She acknowledged them. And that honesty built a different kind of connection with the public. There's also a quieter dimension to her legacy, her role as a mother. By most consistent accounts, her daughters have maintained a close bond with her, and that stability didn't happen by accident. It came from intentional presence behind the scenes, away from flashing cameras. Now here's where the story becomes more reflective. By 2026, what people notice most isn't simply how she looks, it's how she carries herself. The tone is steadier. The public appearances feel more grounded. There's less urgency to prove something and more comfort in simply being. That kind of transformation doesn't come from privilege alone. It usually comes from surviving storms most people never see fully. Another lesser-known detail is her long-term commitment to literacy and children's causes. While headlines often focused elsewhere, she consistently invested time into reading initiatives and youth-focused programs. Those efforts didn't always trend, but they mattered. And there's an important emotional layer here. When someone lives decades in public view, they become a mirror. People project opinions, judgments, expectations. Very few are allowed to evolve quietly. Yet growth still happens, whether the audience notices or not. What makes her story compelling today is not glamour, it's endurance. Not perfection, but persistence. Not image, but identity. If you look closely, you can see a pattern. Each time the narrative around her narrowed, she widened her path. Different projects, different causes, different roles. Reinvention isn't something she talked about. It's something she practiced. And maybe that's why her journey resonates with so many viewers in this stage of life. Because reinvention isn't just for celebrities. It's human. The deeper message here isn't about appearance in a given year. It's about what time reveals when someone keeps going instead of giving up. Strength can look surprisingly gentle. Growth can look surprisingly calm. And resilience rarely announces itself loudly. If this story gave you a new perspective or reminded you of someone who rebuilt their life with quiet determination, share your thoughts in the comments. We read them all. And if you enjoy thoughtful stories behind public figures, you're welcome to join us by subscribing to Fame Express.